getting better. It's getting better. Today is the
We're,
15th of April, Saturday. It's 8:08 p.m. and it's 8:08 a.m. in the Philippines, which is tomorrow, the 16th of Sunday, April 2013.
2013.
Oh, crap. 2024.
Two guys from two worlds. This is the FlipSide. New episodes is uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now, your hosts, Jay and Noel.
Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. What's up?
Hey, I'm only 5 minutes late today.
Yeah. It's getting better. It's getting better. Today is the
We're,
15th of April, Saturday. It's 8:08 p.m. and it's 8:08 a.m. in the Philippines, which is tomorrow, the 16th of Sunday, April 2013, I guess.
2013.
Oh, crap. 2024.
What's
Yeah.
been going on with you? I gotta tell you, sitting here listening to you and your family discuss, uh, you know, yell at each other and make fun and poke at each other. It's like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that's how pretty much we
It's
are
like
over
the
here.
it's like the Brady Bunch.
I made a mistake of teaching my kids to speak their mind.
Mm.
And like the whole
No,
not
actually,
no
I
sugarcoating type of thing.
I correct myself. I overspoke there. It's not the Brady Bunch. It's like married with kids, married with
Married with
children.
children. Yeah,
And,
that's right.
and yes, you are Al Bundy. So
Man, it's just one of those things.
uh, it
It's
was just interesting to eavesdrop at the family dynamics, or
yeah,
or
yeah,
like who's the clown and or who's the overconfident and then flip side insecure
uh-huh.
teenager,
Yeah,
and then who's the cute one, you know.
yeah. Everybody is it's just a character on its own. Even my little one, the 2-year-old Arya, who turns 3 next Thursday, by the way.
Mm,
Um she's already a handful. Oh, by the way, shout out to my daughter who is now 14 years old, Malaya. She
yeah.
turned 14 yesterday.
Hey, that's
As I
about the same age that we met.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, you
So
know.
strange.
That's strange. I just thought about that just popped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Malaya, what are you doing? We want to ask you a question because Noel just brought it up actually. So you just turned 14 and we actually met around your age, me and him. Say hi. That's Malaya. She's 14 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's very light skinned. That doesn't look like an Asian girl.
Did you adopt her?
We
Is she
actually
your...
found her behind the 7-Eleven, right
Okay.
next to the Burger King dumpster. She was just crying really loud, and
Yeah.
she was like rummaging through trash at the age of 4, and she was wearing "Make America Great Again" T-shirt.
It's unmistakably, not your child for some reason.
He said, "Unmistakably not your child." Okay, go ahead.
I mean the resemblance is no. I thought you were gonna ask her a question.
Then I got to set up everything again, and like she doesn't. She'd have to go downstairs and turn her computer on.
Or microphone,
Or
yeah.
was her? Do you
I
want to
mean,
go
just
down and turn yourself on? No, we'll send you an
I'm
invite
not even gonna
later
say
on.
it. Not even gonna say it.
I can set it up for you if you want to do it. If it, yeah, no, next year. What do you think? Of course, now I'm on the recording now. Obviously now. I don't have an extra mic here. No, we can't share a mic because this is the good mic. This is my mic, the
The
mic that
dad's mic.
mom bought me. This is dad's mic. Hold on, my son's calling me. Hold on, you want to hear the conversation too? Oh, sorry about this, guys. We're just having a good conversation right now.
We can
Hey, what's
always
going on?
delete it.
I'm not streaming. I'm recording.
I can have a sleepover at Ali's, but I still want to do the interview, so I'm gonna go to the house and do it with you.
I told you we're starting recording at like 8 o'clock. I mean, we're not gonna reschedule for you. If you want to get on, you can get on. He's at his friend's house, which is like literally a 5-minute walk, but he decides to drive since he has a car now. See how lazy kids nowadays? That's insane, huh?
At least he wants to do it. Let's just wait.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we'll wait. Bye. You guys might notice that there's two strangers on our show today. This is actually my kids. That's Harry and that's Malaya. Say hi, guys. Introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? I'm Harry. How's it going?
Nice one.
Yeah.
Malay, it's I don't know if it's gonna make a difference on the recording, but you forgot to change your name on this pop up again. It's all right. It's all right. Go ahead. While you're figuring that out, Jay, I gotta say I'm more nervous and starstruck now than I am when we were talking to Commander Daot.
Why?
Because we're talking to teenagers. I've never talked to aliens in a long time. I haven't talked to aliens in a long time. That's what it feels like.
Right. I mean, it's a huge difference, you know. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, yesterday was my daughter's Malaya right there. That's my son Harry. Yesterday was my daughter's 14th birthday. And you mentioned that we were around that age when we met. Can you imagine?
That's what I was thinking. It's like, what am I so nervous about? I mean, I used to be 14. I can talk about stuff when I know what being 14-year-old feels and looks like.
I'm not sure anymore since that was like literally 29 years ago for me. 29 years ago. Can you imagine? 29 years ago, I was 14.
Exactly.
Yeah. At that age, I got caught shoplifting at Toys R Us.
So the 14 that we were at then is a different 14 that they are now.
Right. My son is Harry's 17. Go ahead.
To give you guys an idea of what the world was like when we were 14, that was the first time practically that I picked up a video camera.
Oh, Jesus.
Like you pick it up from your ass right now, from your phone, and you're like, oh, let's take a picture, let's take a video. And for me, back then, that was like, it was expensive. It wasn't just something that you picked up from your pocket.
Right.
Like that little difference right there. Me picking up the camera. Oh, and then it opened up this whole idea of making movies, making videos. But you guys are like, I'll call my friend and then we'll talk on video.
What was that? 1992? Was that 1992, 93? Maybe for me at least. I can't remember. But anyway, that was like the year where Coolio was popular. Vanilla Ice. You guys know Vanilla Ice? You know? Ice.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ice. You guys don't know that. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know Vanilla Ice?
Yeah.
There you go. And MC Hammer.
I love Coolio. I don't like MC Hammer. It's not
How can you not like MC Hammer?
It's the
ladies. I don't like the pants.
The pants is the staple of the 90s, for crying out loud. Those parachute pants?
No, that's the 80s.
Parachute pants are cool.
No, the parachute pants are 80s, man. For us, it was the sagging butt crack pants.
Oh, I like those pants.
Of course, he's going to say he likes those pants. Would you believe that it was a white guy that actually made that popular?
What do you mean?
The sagging pants. It was Marky Mark.
Oh, was it
Wahlberg.
Marky Mark?
Yeah, he's the one that started that. You guys didn't know?
He was good in Star Wars. I mean, Transformers. Sorry.
Yeah, but he started that because of the Calvin Klein commercials. And then literally the next day, everybody's walking around school showing their boxer shorts. But the difference is Marky Mark was like a Calvin Klein boxer shorts, and then the other kids were like wearing Fruit of the Looms or Hanes.
Okay. I started wearing saggy pants because I got my pants from like the surplus shop, and it was just too big for me.
Yeah, mine too. I mean, I was skinny and didn't have money, so That's why.
So wait, I'm curious. Going back to the music for the kids right now, do they listen? Do they bother to? Do you force them to listen to like '90s music?
No, I never
Um,
forced them. Well,
No, I mean,
Harry.
okay. Let me
All
phrase
right,
that
you
question
asked
a
him.
little
You
better.
asked him. You asked him.
Does your dad blast his music like in the house? Is there anything that you
yes.
is there anything that you guys appreciate or like that he listens to, or is it all like
Um,
that again?
Uh,
it's oh, you go, you go.
I listened to it before they showed me.
Right.
Um, well, I kind of like grew up on R&B. Like my mom, like she'd play Rihanna and stuff. So like when my dad started playing that music, it was like R&B kind of stuff, and I really liked it. So I never get annoyed of it.
Okay,
It
but
it
did you?
was like I never really forced it to them, but I know Harry just all of a sudden started talking about Biggie and Tupac and whatnot.
Uh,
Um, Malaya,
I'm right now. I found that there's a giant gap in music where it's missing, and it's Memphis rap. That was your time, actually. The whole like
Your time.
R&B and stuff, that's not till 2000s. Before that, it was just like normal like rap and hip hop. I mean, kind of hip hop. Hip hop and rap is different. But
gangster
yeah,
rap.
yeah, because it was popular, but the actual like gap of that was Memphis rap, 1995 to 2000s, and then it stopped after 2003.
Mm,
I
mm.
think. I don't know.
I go back to using the word force you to listen to because I don't know about you guys, but here in the Philippines, like on Sunday, it's like automatic. Like the neighbors just start turning on their 1960s or sometimes 30, like really old music that I'm like, and
Right.
it's like they up the seniors sort of assume that you're gonna appreciate this music whether you like it or not because I like it. You gotta like it too. I'm sure you like it.
Malaya was a little bit different there. She was kind of like backwards in regards to like the time frame. When I say backwards, like when she was younger, she was more into like the older stuff, you know. Actually, both of them. Like
Uh,
I noticed, like in regards to Malaya, like what she watches. Harry, on their other hand, at one point, I remember him listening to like Frank Sinatra. Um, who's that other kid, guy that he was Louis Armstrong. You know, he
uh,
went through that phase where he started backwards, and then all of a
right.
sudden that disappeared, and it's gangster rap all of a sudden, where it's Tupac, Biggie, and whatever, and then whatever they listen to now.
Wu Tang.
Wu Tang forever.
Yeah.
I love Wu
So
Tang.
so you guys is there a difference now with the music that's like modern versus what your dad listened to?
Um, well,
No,
I guess kind of. I mean, it just depends on the genre. Um,
Like how? Like how? What do you think is the biggest difference in how music is now in your time frame versus the '90s, our time frame?
when it
tempo,
comes to when it
What?
comes to
tempo.
oh,
Sorry,
no, it's okay.
tempo. That's the difference.
Like
What
how?
I've
It's not.
noticed, oh,
It's faster now than it was before. There's more
Mm.
BPMs in songs now than it was before. It was really slow. Like Tupac would take really slow, Biggie would go really slow. The whole Wu-Tang Clan would take. They made a 10-minute song of them just all trying to rap in one. It was
Yeah, I
really
remember
slow.
that. Yeah.
Now it's just like fast and
fast.
you can't understand it.
What I've
Yeah.
noticed is that there's definitely when it comes to rap music now and like hip hop now, like it's like really intense. It can get really intense, and a lot of the songs sound the same. Like I don't understand what like the point of the song is or like what the message out of the song is. And so that's why like I prefer hip hop in like the 90s and early 2000s compared to hip hop now.
There's a
Yeah.
story in how music is back then, you know. Typically it doesn't matter if it's hip hop, country, or whatnot. There's always an underlying story to what they're trying to share, basically. As opposed to now, like what Malaya was saying, the rap nowadays is I don't even understand half of it, to be honest with you. All I understand is like
Maybe it started to sound like you know how when in social media they're just post something just to keep you updated, just to keep you top of mind so that people know about what you're doing. Just post something, anything. Take a shot of your shoelaces. Maybe that's how the music's coming out now. It's like it's a little bit of this one's crap, but oh, people will forget about it in a couple of days. But the important thing is I post something out.
Yeah, those
I mean,
are
so
industry plans.
yeah, let me ask you kids something. So there's always a saying where kids nowadays are so disconnected to reality because of how their main point of communication is through their phone, their tablets, or their whatever, you know? Do you guys believe, at least in your point of view or in your relationships with your friends, that that's how it is?
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah,
that is okay.
100%.
It's whatever.
Well, you guys are
Um,
okay with that?
I mean,
There's
it depends on
nothing
the
you can do.
it
Hmm.
depends on the situation for me because there's this, for example, there's this one time I went out and the whole entire time the people I was hanging out with, they were on their phones. Like we weren't talking, we weren't enjoying our time together. They were just on their phones.
Hmm.
And it was so weird because I was the only one not on my phone.
So
So
funny that you guys are experiencing something that Jason and I didn't are only experiencing now, obviously, with you guys as it's
Yeah.
happening.
Right.
Because back then it was like, when we met each other at the park, we were in each other's faces at the park.
Right.
I mean, if things were awkward, we'd go home. But
Yeah.
it was
I mean, our version of text messaging back then was what? I mean, I don't even think we actually went through that, Noel, you and I. Not even pagers, right?
Yes.
that's
Oh, I was
right.
gonna
You
say that.
you and I didn't never paged each other. It was like, literally knocking on your door and like, can
Right.
Jason come out and play?
Yeah, pretty much.
You got time today? Have you done your homework? And then let's go to the park,
But
and then
now,
I'm holding a basketball, in hand, like ready to go,
uh,
or a
uh,
camera, or a tennis racket. Yeah.
that's why I don't know sometimes. Do you guys have a hard time distinguishing like what's the true portrayal of what your friends are saying if they're communicating through you via text or whatever? Like if you guys are arguing, for example.
Or
Yeah.
here's another way of asking that question, Jade. Do you feel like you guys have honest, deeper relationships with each other when you guys are seeing each other face to face, or are you
yeah,
seeing like?
Yeah.
I with I feel like when it comes to over text, you don't understand half of what they mean. Like you might interpret it wrong.
Right.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, it's probably because, my friends are just like, we're just close. So when if we get ever like into an argument, it's like obvious to tell, or if we're trying to like just mess around with each other because we're so straightforward with things.
Hmm.
So like, even if we got into an argument, we'd of course get into an argument and then say some like really messed up stuff to each other. But then we'd just be like the next day, be like, oh, okay, it's okay. What can you do? You guys are still friends, type of
But does
thing.
it help? Does it help, or does it complicate things that you guys can talk to each other over the phone?
Via text.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's convenient, but like at the same time, I if people are trying to like mean something else and I can't take it as it is, then it's not my problem to like
Right.
try to interpret it. It's like if you're gonna do something like that, at least talk to me on the phone instead of texting me through the phone. That makes no sense
Got
to
it.
me.
Yeah. I mean, that makes more sense, because like you said, can't it's hard to tell or to interpret a text message. Do you guys feel like you guys are arguing more with your friends when you guys are text messaging as opposed to talking in person or via the phone?
No,
Not
no.
really. I feel like it depends on the person.
Right.
Like if you have a close enough relationship with them. Because, for example, my closest friend, um, we rarely argue. Like we don't really get into arguments, even if we like look at a text and interpret it wrong. We're still like we don't get in an argument if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it. Like what Guia said, um, we um we like mess around a lot and we how to explain it? I don't know how to properly explain it. We're just really close. Where if we get in an argument, it's easy to like get back, you know, because we're not gonna let it ruin our friendship.
I mean, for me, it's not even that. Like, I feel like we get into arguments more often when we're in face to face because it's
Mm,
always like, I mean, all my friends I know for sure are competitive. So we
Right.
always try to like one up each other, always like some crazy ideas. We just like always want to fight each other. So whenever we
Right.
see each other, we just mess around with each other, right?
Hmm.
So I feel like we get into more arguments that way than like through text message. And Dad, I actually have to. I'm gonna go drop off Ollie. I have to go drop him off.
Okay,
But
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah, and I was gonna ask if I could have sleepover at his house.
Seriously, you could have like come up here and asked and not include. But
You can
see,
add that to your
this is
clip.
a
You can clip
perfect.
that. You can
This is a
clip that.
perfect example of convenience to their generation, where they could do everything over some kind of over the wire, basically, as opposed to like walking up and asking your parents in person. You know what I mean?
a little too convenient. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
another thing that these guys have that we didn't. It's like when Tupac or Biggie came up with a song, we only hear from them through the song. But now it's like you could literally just text them or
Yeah.
message them like, hey, good song, or I hated that, or
Shoot them a tweet.
cancel culture. But and have you guys ever tried like sending out a message or a DM or even just commenting on any one of your celebrity crushes or
Or idols or somebody you
idols
guys
or
listen to.
anything like that?
Give me a
Are you
second.
guys
Not really.
Yeah, I have. That's it.
Who?
You
So
know, me and my
who's
friends, we mess around, so we're always like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna text The Rock right now, or I'm gonna invite Conor McGregor to our group chat so he can beat all of you guys. We end up doing it, but they never seem to respond or reply in chat, so we're just
right?
like, it's just a joke, so we just do it all the time. We sometimes like if we get mad at a player, like an NBA player, like
Yeah.
what's his name? Randolph, the guy from New York Knicks. If
Mm.
I got mad at him and I sent him a voicemail saying like, how can you get paid and lose? Like, how can you get paid and average 40%? I mean, 40% off of the field, you know? It's just terrible. So,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense that it's just so darn convenient.
It is. It is.
I
They
mean,
have
whether they're
literally access to everything.
I mean, whether the celebrity replies or not is not the point. The point is that there's that potential that
Yeah.
that person will actually see it. And who knows, like, yeah, you're right, like, sorry about that shot. They could actually reply. There is actually that potential. But for us, it was nothing. It was like just completely two different worlds. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Harry, if you need to go upstairs and talk to mom.
all right, I'll see it.
Log out. So it's
Malaya on
it's
the hot seat.
yeah, she's on
Oh
the hot seat,
gosh.
and we're gonna grill her right now. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty crazy how they have so much access to everything, especially like you said, reaching out to whoever they want to reach out to, But the crazy thing is, one thing I immediately noticed about if I had that kind of access and I'm able to reach out to anybody just like that, I'd probably be doing it way too much, which I do, but right now, but I do it for the show. I'm shamelessly reaching out to all these people and like trying to, hey, we have a little podcast and whatnot, yada yada yada. But Malaya, what do you think is your biggest for somebody your age? What do you think? What are the things that you think is better now for you in your lifetime so far that is much better in comparison to when we were your age over 25 years ago?
Watching shows. I feel like no, I feel like you can okay, so when it comes to like mainstream stuff,
Yeah.
like you can literally go on the TV, pick any show you want. But before you had to wait, or if you like miss the show and don't pre-record it, you can't watch it.
Yeah, that's true,
So-
man. I hated that.
Like I can literally go to my TV right now and watch Friends. So I mean, or I could watch I Love Lucy because we were talking about it a lot. So
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a time machine on your fingertips.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. Time
right?
machine in
Because
your hand.
for us, once it's out of, broadcast or circulation and it's not on the radio or it's not on TV anymore, that's it. It's gone.
We gotta wait, and it a bit back then, like you said, Malaya, we don't know if we miss a show, we don't know when it's going to be replayed.
Everything was moving slow.
Right. And
And
then
now,
if we have
like,
to record, we'd have to set up like a crap load of equipment just to record a TV show. Remember that?
yeah. So now it's nice because everything's moving fast and, conversations, relationships, entertainment, anything that you want to access is in your face. Is there anything negative for you that you see about that? I mean, the fact that you can walk up there and, click on Netflix and see Friends in 30 seconds, up and ready to go. Is there anything
Um,
negative about that?
in how I look at it, it definitely, I'm saying this a lot, but it definitely again depends on the person. Because if it's like, because recently, no, for like the past like year or
Hmm.
like a couple years, because of social media, all these shows that have been so popular in the past and like have
Hmm.
been so successful are getting canceled because of one thing they said. Like, for example, I was on TikTok, I was scrolling, and I scrolled through a video. I saw a video about someone trying to cancel the show Friends, actually, because
Hmm.
Ross said something, even though this happened, what, basically 30 years ago.
Hmm.
And
Right.
that's just, I guess that's like one thing that can get like super negative, because people nowadays take things way too personally, even though it doesn't involve them.
Well put.
Going putting that on your sort of circle of friends or your clique at school, does anything like that sort of affect you guys at a snap of a finger? Like the way you described how you saw it on TikTok and Friends.
Um, Sorry, could you like
Like
simplify the
like
question?
I don't know. I'm just thinking that I have like a group of friends, and then we kind of find out that, let's say, Jason got an F in one of his exams, and then like next thing you know, I'm not friends with him.
Um, I
Like
guess
F
like
as in fuck off or what? Like F as in a bad grade.
um
Bad grade.
so in my definitely like now that no one cares about grades. Like if you get a C in the test, they're like it's okay, it doesn't even matter. That's like everyone's mindset.
Really?
And yeah, I'm like if you get a really bad grade, they're like it's fine, I'll do better next time, and then they'd get the same grade.
Hmm.
Um so I feel like now definitely in my clique of people, we all like just we have like we just mess around, we joke around, and there's no drama, there's no conflict because we all love each other. Like we're like a family. Um, but when it comes to like people outside our clique, if you, for example, someone says something stupid, what I've noticed is that it's mostly girls that are getting like shamed for saying something stupid. Yet when a guy does it, it's like fine and they're considered cool. Yet when a girl does it at my school, they're like, "Oh, you're not allowed to say that. You're everyone hates you."
I think that's similar to
Hmm.
how it was back then in our time, right? Where when a
Yeah.
when a girl actually says something, it's kind of shunned upon, but when a guy says something, it's like whatever.
Yeah. No, I think what I was trying to get at with that question is if I were in your shoes, Malaya or Harry's, knowing that anybody just could just cancel me or click away, I'd be
Mm,
walking on eggshells all the time. Like I
Yeah,
mean, aside from being worried about what people would say, I would be worried about what people would do.
mm-hmm.
yeah, I've gotten threatened a couple times here and there for literally doing nothing. Honestly, people just like decide not to like someone for reasons I will never know, because right now people do not like me and I don't know because they don't even know me. They just
Mm.
decide, "Oh, I don't like that person because she's weird or she's this or she's that." And I guess that kind of like looking like it took me a while to like kind of like stop like worrying so much about it, because like I'd be so like paranoid and I wanted everyone to like me. But like
Mm.
now that I'm like I thought about it, I definitely grew and like looked at it more, and I just like don't feel pressured to like fit in because I know that the right people are gonna like come to me, which is now happening. Like I made friends that I actually click with, and I made friends that I hang out and see every day. And so I definitely, for some people, definitely at my school, some people definitely feel like that they are walking on eggshells, like what you
Yeah.
said, that they are constantly being pressured to do things that they shouldn't be doing.
I mean, if Jason and I got into a fight, I'd just be a social butterfly and then, just hop into the next group. Like they don't know my issue with Jason.
Right.
Like it just, that's my secret. That's my private information, not
Yeah.
information, but that's my thing. But now it's like the group can actually share it. So it was,
Everything flows so easily and comfortably throughout the grapevines because everything is easily accessible.
yeah. So that social dynamic of I'm safe here. Am I really safe here? If I move on to this other group because they could find out.
Yeah, I
What,
think I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think I just
please.
realized the pros and one of the pros and the cons of like back then where people would have face-to-face conversations, right? Which is
Mm.
great. But now they don't have it as much. One of the big cons is of not having it so much now, meaning the face-to-face conversation, is because the conversation could easily happen without even looking at anybody like that. And bad news or rumors could fly and be communicated in a snap, literally in a snap of a finger, where back then people might not know anything like from this group in this section to like the next one. They might not know it for the whole year if they don't talk to each other.
Yeah,
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
There's
go
Um,
ahead. Feel free.
there are no walls. Yeah.
So that actually, that's like, you're like really right about it because there are like TikTok accounts and Instagram accounts of like my school, and it's literally just to spread rumors, spread fake rumors, like ships and stuff. And it's like some people do it as a joke, but like a lot of people take that so personally, even though it's like a joke, you know?
Right.
And like the rumors and stuff, that's like a lot of people are just like, even though they're like saying, oh, it's a joke, like I don't actually mean it, blah, 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 they mean it. Like if you really didn't mean it, why would you be making accounts about it?
Jay,
Mm.
I'll hand it over to you again, Jay. But just funny to think that they're trying to navigate through that now, and we're trying to navigate it with them at the same time. We're all
At the
trying to
same
figure it
time.
out at the same time. But I mean, this is, I guess, sort of inevitable. It's kind of like, we were talking about Baguio the other day and how everything was all forest and trees. It's inevitable. It's developing city. It needs to be. It's going to be a metropolitan thing, and we're not
Mhm.
really can't avoid that. It's just progress. It's moving on with life.
The
But
gener- go, go ahead.
the
Sorry,
thing is, we're
apologies.
all figuring it out all at the same time. It's not like I have more experience than you do, so you should
Right.
follow me. It's
Well,
like,
there's two sides to that because in a way, we're a little bit the older people like us, we can think more logically and reasonably when it comes to stuff like that, right?
not
And
always, but
not always, but for the most part. All
yeah,
right. But the bad part about that is the fact that we can do that makes it harder for us to navigate on the way they do things now and the way they communicate things now, to them it's normal communicating that way and
yeah,
living their social aspects now. We have to do that in relation and try to relate it to the way we were back then and
yeah,
learn this
right.
process at the same time.
Your dad and I are boxed up into this mental box that we're still trying to get out of.
Right, right.
and
And
and you guys are just running around the box and then hopping back in and out.
right. Well, what makes it harder for that is from my on the flip side of that is what you just said. What makes it harder is it's harder for me to try to properly be supportive to my kids about this kind of stuff as well. That's where the misconnect communication and the disconnect happens in regards to my kids and I. For example, like I, it's hard. It's not that I don't relate but it's harder to communicate
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
their way of conversation is completely different to our way of conversation.
we're trying to get out of the box. They're just playing with the box.
They're literally going in and out of the box. And it's easier for them. And but in regards to something like that, Malaya, what do you think is the easiest way for you being in your I guess in your lifespan right now, as of yesterday being 14 years old finally, what has been, do you think, the easiest way for you to navigate your teenage life as opposed to back then? Do you understand the question?
Not really.
Like what's made your life easier in comparison to maybe what you know how life is back then?
Um,
Or does it even matter?
Definitely. I think when it comes to phones, I feel like phones in a lot of situations have made things easier for me now because when I go out, like you and mom always want to like know where I'm at, so I'm safe, and if something happens, like I can just call you, or
Mm,
mom.
mm.
And so I feel like when it comes to that situation, it's definitely been a more positive impact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's been easier
Do
to
you think it's
contact just in
easier for you
case.
to communicate with your friends in person or through your phone? Like via
Um,
text or whatever?
I feel like it's easier for me to communicate in person. That's why when it comes to talking to my friends, I like calling them because I have trouble explaining a lot of things over text, or I have trouble with words a lot. And so just explain like texting, it stresses me out because I don't know why. I'm just like scared I might say the wrong thing because when you text,
Right.
you don't think about it. You just text. So, but over call, I feel like you can like think about it before you say something and then explain it properly. That's what mom said right there when she's cooking. Um, Explain it. Can I have some, by the way? Um, Explain it properly.
And and
Um,
and you can't tell the tone.
yeah, and yeah, it's like you can again, like I said before, you can interpret it wrong. Um, but like it's even better when you're face to face. Like I have better conversations with people from my school face to face than over call or over text. So
Can't help but compare that to like driving a car versus riding a motorcycle. I mean, having a car is great, like, but yeah, to a point. But once I get into like the nitty gritty of things, I'd rather be on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great that I have a phone and I can talk to you, but it's only good to a point until I want to get to talk face to face.
can I?
I think
Sorry.
that's the danger of like kids nowadays with their way of communicating where it's hard to tell the gray line, if that makes sense. You
Mm,
know? Like I've
mm,
always taught my kids, tone matters when the way you talk.
mm.
By the way a person talks, the tone of their voice distinguishes how the conversation is, meaning are they pissed, are they happy, and whatnot, and so forth and so forth. Um, and it's hard to do that, obviously, if you're
I
texting somebody, you know?
Can I change topics?
Yeah,
I want to ask your daughter and your son, actually.
go ahead. Go ahead. Ask her.
Malaya,
Yep.
what do you hate about your parents?
My mom and they're
It doesn't
standing right
matter.
there.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not there. You can say what you want.
But mom's standing right there.
You're
Oh,
not gonna get in trouble. You're
your
not gonna
dad
get in
then.
trouble.
Your dad, your dad, your dad.
Okay.
I got your back when it comes to your dad. Don't worry.
Honestly,
What do you hate about your dad?
I honestly don't hate anything about when it comes to my parents. Like I feel like I got extremely lucky because I feel so like I feel like I could talk to my parents about anything. Like my mom, I talk to her about everything. I tell my parents everything when it comes to relationships, friendships, drama, school problems,
The never
literally
ending drama, by
everything.
the way. The never
Oh,
ending drama.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not as bad as like before. Like I don't have that much drama.
that's correct. It's calmed down a lot. The drama has subsided substantially.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times in a row. Subsided substantially. I'm just, I'm just anyway.
But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
honestly, like I don't hate my parents. Like compared, like I've talked to
Hate
my
is
friend.
such a strong word.
That
Jesus
yeah, hate
Christ.
is a strong word. I don't dislike my parents. I
Okay,
oh
what do you think your parents need to learn to become better parents? Is that a better way to say it?
How can we make it better?
honestly,
Or in
there's
other
really
words, does your dad still wear a turtleneck?
Shut
No.
up, dude. They don't know that.
no. You weren't. I'm imagining you in that those like hats that
What
like
an
go like
asshole.
this with the turtleneck and like a blues club where they snap their
Exactly.
fingers
That's right.
with your latte and your glasses,
No,
like in the Goofy movie.
I never got to the beret, but yes, the 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 turtlenecks back there. You're an asshole, dude.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
yeah, how could they improve?
honestly, my mom's making fun of me.
Their
That's
fashion,
something they can prove. I need them to stop making fun of me.
That's our
their,
job.
No, it isn't.
We
That's my
literally
friend's
have to.
job.
Our job is to literally tell you to what's up, what's down, to shut up, to talk, and to make fun of you. That's the privilege of a parent, to make fun of their kids. We pay for everything. The least we can do is make fun of you guys.
Well, okay. Well, then
er,
besides that, there's really I don't think my parents need to work on anything. My parents are like really good parents because I feel like I think they trust me because I like they trust me to a point where I can go out by myself. Like I can hang out with my friends and stuff. Like I know a lot of people, especially my best friend at school. She can't even go out without her mom being in the same area as her. So like I just
oh,
feel like I got so lucky to have trust like parents that trust me, especially since I'm 14 and she's older than me. She's months older than me. She turned 14 before me. And my little sister's making a lot of noise. But she
sure.
turned 14 before me and her mom, I feel like does not trust her. Thank you, mom.
It's
So
I mean, I've always been the strict one. I'm the
can I eat? Sorry.
yeah, I'm the bad
Please,
cop
yeah.
basically,
Mm,
and my wife is the good cop. At least that's what we try to, because there has to be balance. You know what I mean? Like I was the strict one, and my wife was the easygoing one, so to speak. Um, Even up to now, I've actually calmed down a lot, and like I said, that one correlated to my yelling a lot back then, as opposed to now. I mean, I still yell here and there, but not as bad as before. You know what I mean? Now that they're a bit older, I've calmed down a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping not to be in that same direction for the youngest one over here. But to be honest with
mm.
you, this younger one, Arya, handful, man. I mean, my wife literally was trying to get away with her from her the other night. She just would not stop banging on that bathroom door. I mean, she would climb on it multiple times to a point where she actually stood up, ran to the door, and then pretended like she fell back down.
Well,
Anyway, um, but yeah, it's such a huge difference now how teenagers nowadays to the way we are back then. Everything is so much. You see all your friends you can communicate through all your friends all the time via
yeah.
text in between classes. Us back then, we got to be lucky to like run into them in the hallway, remember?
Now, part of me is a bit jealous that they got all these things going for them, but at the same time, I'm like, "Oof, I don't know how I'm gonna go. Like I said, be walking on eggshells. I'd be so self-conscious.
You want to say
Yeah.
hi? You want to say hi? You can't have soda, Joe. It's for adults.
Anyway,
Okay.
It's
that's what
bad for their teeth too.
That's what she does. If she can't get one thing from somebody, she'll go to the next
You're
person.
gonna have cavities.
No, she knows how to like. She's managed. That's the social dynamics that she's learning how to navigate through.
Right, right. And
Right.
it's yeah, I guess.
And she's so that means she's being persistent. That means she's
She's too
Coke's
persistent.
not caffeine free, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
that's the point. Don't suppress that because you want somebody to grow up persistent and determined.
Yeah, but we
You know,
can't really like give into it all the time. I'm already
no,
giving
don't
into it too
no,
many
don't
times.
get no, don't give into it. I'm just saying, allow her
That's
to
the
keep.
hard part. You know, yesterday we were at Barnes and Nobles, right? And she's got a million stuffed toys. I literally told her, no, no, no. I put it, all right? Arya literally starts, she stood in front of me crying, like, but daddy, I want it. Come on, man. I got suckered into it again. It's ridiculous. $20 down the drain. And the last time she played it was what, yesterday still? I don't even know where it
Yeah.
is anymore.
Well, bro, it's not black and white, yes or no. You gotta figure out another way to, get, compromise. Have her get what she wants, and then you get your way too.
See, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is with these women here. Even my wife, her, the little one. It's
What do
like,
you mean by that?
shh, just be quiet. You know, you get 99% of what you want. Don't even try to lie about it. All right. You, yes, sit there and smirk because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. So stop. It's but even my wife, she doesn't ask for much, but when she does, it's hard to say no. Sometimes it's annoying. I'm outnumbered. I'm like emotionally drained sometimes because they know how to finagle
Yeah.
with me. They know how to
So
twist me around.
you're the one that needs training in all this social dynamics.
Dude, I told you, I'm telling you, even before having kids, I was like, I'm not gonna spoil them, not gonna get this and that for them, whatever. And once it happened, everything out the window. Everything that I stood for, that I believed in, out the window. It was horrible.
Yeah. Because there's your way, there's other people's way, and then there's what actually works for you.
I Yeah. I think it's more like I give in because I feel like sometimes I had a shortcoming growing up, where I was never able to obtain those things, right? Like for example, growing up, I didn't really have video games like Xbox, PlayStation, whatever.
Didn't you have like Game Boy and Atari and PlayStation and
Mm,
PlayStation?
I mean, PlayStation, yeah, but that's when I was older. It's not like I had it when it came out. No, I waited years to get it and I had to work hard for it. You know what I mean? So now,
Yeah.
whenever
It's not
we
instant.
can obtain something like my wife and I, it's like I try to like I'm kind of like vicariously living my childhood through theirs in a way. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Where
Of
I,
course.
I want what they want because I never had something like that. Just like I said with my consoles.
Of
Even
course.
though I know I probably shouldn't buy it because I'm only gonna play it a couple of times, I still buy it because I know my son's gonna want it.
Bro, I get you. You want to give what you didn't have, but at the same time, it's a push and pull because you also don't want them to turn out weak.
Thank you. They're so what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, people. They're so
Oh,
dependent on their equipments, if that makes sense. Yeah? I don't know. Never mind.
No, I don't think it's the gear. I don't think it's the gadgets. It's about a mental weakness where
Yeah.
uh
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I think I know what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, soft
Soft.
you don't want them to be
Soft.
soft. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That,
cuz
that
cuz
that's what that is.
life is
It
going to punch you in the face, and you don't want to be like, "Oh, but Mike Tyson punched me. I don't want to play anymore."
it's my daughter. Oh my, she's right there.
I'm right here. No, no, say it.
I was gonna say she always comes up with a reason to like skip school. Like
Oh,
mom's right next to me, so I'm just gonna whisper it.
She's always like pretending like, oh my God, my stomach hurts. My ears. And then she's gonna message me first, right? And then I'm gonna like try to convince my wife to like, it's okay, just let her happen. She's got to my wife is like, just skip school's too much, dude. She's
Just skip school. What?
just like pretending all this stuff, like skip school. Like she'll call me in the middle of the day, they're like, hey, big kid, my stomach hurts. Yeah, right. Your stomach hurts. You just need to fart. That's the reality of things.
Well, no. Well,
You
honestly,
guys could
I
type it. There's a chat.
Sorry, did you hear any of that or no?
A little bit, to the point where you're not telling your wife what's going on, and then you guys start to work together to, like since you're out of school already, like why don't we go out and watch a movie?
No, we're not doing that. I'm just telling her if she's gonna play something, play it throughout the day, not like half-ass it and like, well, my stomach hurts, and then later on just running around. Don't do that. Mom's
Right.
gonna catch
Don't-
on
I
to it.
don't do that.
That's an exaggeration.
That's an exaggeration,
Well,
but
like-
something like that.
Well, like I don't even go out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm literally always at home.
No, I know that, but if you're gonna do something like that, to like skip school, at least like play it out right, so that mom
Don't
doesn't
ha-
like catch on.
So what I'm hearing is don't half-ass it, go all the way.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you're gonna skip school, skip all the
Well-
classes, not just half day.
Well, I went home on Thursday. But I had an actual good reason. Like
What?
well, no,
Oh my eye. But
No,
she's like
no,
saying
no,
her eye, but the whole day she's doing this.
no, because my eye, like my allergies have been really bad this year, and my eye was so itchy. And obviously, like I rubbed it, and that's on me. But my eyes were so swollen to a point where it was so hard to keep my eyes open. Like I was like crying in class, and my teacher kept on coming up to me, and she was like,
You're
"Are you
half
okay?"
Asian. Your eyes are always half closed. You're half Asian.
No, but I kept like it was like actually like it just like I couldn't.
How's that even half Asian? You're both of you are Asian, so that makes her 100%.
She's half white.
My dad's half.
Oh.
My dad's
I'm the
fully white.
stepdad for her.
Oh, okay,
My
okay,
dad's
okay.
fully white, and my mom's fully
Fully
Asian.
fully white.
Full.
Tractors and all, y'all.
No,
I'm just kidding.
ever since I went to Alabama that one time, I've been made fun of from not just you guys, my friends. Like I go into school and I say y'all one time, and you're like, "So you're saying y'all now? Where are you from, Alabama?"
Y'all better remember that.
No.
Like I just said, if you're gonna do something, don't half-ass it. You know what I mean?
That's like life lesson, because that's what I've been trying to do when it comes to everything.
What do you mean? Like go back to your roots?
No, like no. I mean like I mean like when it comes to like schoolwork and stuff, like and projects, like when it comes like I've been like trying, like when it comes to schoolwork, I'm like I'm not gonna like half do it.
Can't hear you.
Huh?
Can't hear you.
You
You can
and
just
I-
type. Just type it. I got a
It's-
question from Alea real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Before we run out of time again. We've been bitching and moaning about how our generation is different from yours, and you guys can do this, and then we can't do that. Can you speak, and no pressure, speak for the rest of your population, your generation? How can we help you?
Yeah, how can we get rid of the dumbness of your generation?
Well, like when it comes to we definitely like when it comes to like slang and trends and stuff, like
What?
well, wait, hold on. No. I know where I'm going with this. I just don't know how to properly explain it.
Is there
Can you repeat the question, please?
No, actually, I changed it to I think a better one. A really, I was just trying to like create a, what do you call this? Trying to hype it up a little bit, but a more honest question in that direction. Aside from how can our generation help your generation. More like, is there anything about your parents that you really appreciate? I mean, aside from the freedom that they gave you, that kind of thing, but what is it about our generation that you appreciate, I guess, more specifically to your parents? It's like how.
Not necessarily your in regards to your parents, but I guess from the way we are from our generation and how we use that as a parenting to your generation.
Yeah. Or
You know what I mean?
another way of putting it is, what do you guys pick up from us, from your dad, your parents, that you think is working in your time now?
When it comes to my mom, why are you laughing? Okay, I heard a noise. When it comes to my mom, definitely it's like fashion style. Like I'm really glad that I just like have a mom that understands the type of stuff I'm into. And um when it comes to my dad, definitely I'm really glad he introduced me to all these shows and stuff. What is he doing?
I'm wiping my camera.
Okay.
I spit
Okay,
on
I'm
my
just
screen.
I'm really glad that he introduced me to all these shows. Like if I've never met him, I wouldn't be so into Friends because I'm a really big Friends fan. Like I honestly like I watch the show every single day. Like I've seen all the seasons and it's like an old show, yeah, but like it's like my favorite show.
Have
And
you ever seen that? You've seen that show, right? Friends, Noel?
Of course, yeah.
Oh.
It's popular
I'm
here
a
too.
huge Friends fan as well, and I can literally just listen to it without watching it, and I can tell you what scene's going on.
I feel the same way, but I'm on Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, me too. It's Seinfeld too.
Yeah,
Because
the
Seinfeld is more like my thing.
Friends thing is just too crowded for me. Seinfeld, I kind of like the 1, 2, 3, 4 people. That's enough for me. The Friends, there's just too many people in the cast. I could barely keep up with them.
Anyway, go ahead. You were saying?
but I'm just really glad like when it comes to like pop culture and just culture like 90s culture into early 2000s culture in general. I'm just really glad that I have parents that were like for example, my mom was like a teenager in the early 2000s, you know? So like I'm just really glad that I'm sorry.
Man,
Was I not supposed to say that?
That's okay.
But
I'm 10 years older than my wife.
I'm just really glad that um that my mom, because I'm really into like 2000s fashion and like 90s fashion because like I'm really big on just fashion in general and like music from then. So like I'm just really glad that Y2K, that's what my mom said. I'm just really glad that like my mom, like I could like relate to her so much. And with my dad, when it comes to like movies and show, he introduced me to all these like historic like shows. Like me like historic, when I use historic, I mean like they're so like without them, I feel like it wouldn't the like now would not be the same.
They really like ask me a lot of stuff too about old stuff. You know what I mean? When something comes up or whatever. But I just want to point out, I think it was like last winter. It was kind of cold. When I told you we spent Christmas in Florida, right? We went to Universal Studios and Disney.
Yeah.
So my daughter actually wore a turtleneck at Universal Studios and literally did not say anything because I was like, oh, she's wearing a turtleneck. And I was wearing a turtleneck back then too, but nobody really wears turtlenecks now. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's
I just
sweet.
wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
No relation whatsoever.
With the, just if you haven't caught that, Malaya, what I'm always trying to tease your dad with is, because back then when we were your age, like he was the guy with the fashion sense. Basically, I was the one walking around with surplus pants and shirt, but this guy, fresh off the boat, he was the one with the fashion sense.
Once upon a time, I was all
Yeah.
about the fashion.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, because he said fresh off the boat, my dad introduced me to fresh off the boat too, and he introduced me to How I Met Your Mother. I introduced myself into I Love Lucy, but like I feel like I learned like when it comes to like all these like movies too, like I feel like my whole taste in music and my whole taste in like just like shows, and not just shows, like my mindset too. I feel like it would be so different if my dad weren't here, because
I don't know if that's a
definitely
good thing or a bad thing. I'm
no,
not sure.
it's a good thing, because I feel like I have like a more like I look at things differently when it comes to like how to explain it. It's just
I taught one of the big things I taught my kids that I don't really obviously point out to them is I try to teach them to put things into proper perspective and to look at things in different perspectives. You know what I mean? Because I believe that not everything is just as is. There's always an underlying perspective or reasoning behind anything. What we do, what we say, yada yada yada, and whatnot. You know. And they've gotten pretty good at that. They're trying to. They still need guidance in regards to like the way their point of view is or how they put things into logic. But they're doing good in regards to that. I love it. You know, I hate it and love it at the same time because it allows them to build their own argument. And even though it leads into an argument between me as a parent and them as a kid, even though it's annoying when we argue in regards to it, I can't help but be proud about it because they're able to try to argue their own beliefs, which is awesome. Because most kids nowadays, unfortunately, are too stupid to do that. I'm saying that outright. Anybody kids nowadays, yes, get mad at me, whatever, that's fine. But unfortunately, it's true. Train of thought is a little bit off. But
I think that's the whole point of having two parents, maybe three, four, whatever. The whole the rest of the community, your relatives, because the whole point is to have all to be exposed and have all those choices, and then at the end of the day, you make your own choice.
Right. By putting together the different perspectives, that's how you.
I'm yawning. I didn't want anyone to see it because I had to yawn.
Oh my god. Yeah. So it's the Harry and Malaya are able to like put things into perspective, and what they need guidance on still that I believe is the way they interpret it. You know, because sometimes they interpret things a little bit off still, which is fine. Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? We all learn as we go, as we get older.
Yeah. And then that's how you build your own. That's how you have your identity.
Exactly. And that's how you build identity by not exactly being affected by what people say, but taking it into perspective.
Or taking things with a grain of salt, maybe. That one too. And a little bit of patis and some
and soy sauce.
Vinegar here and there. And then you have adobo.
Yeah.
Huh?
No patis though. I'm kidding about
one thing
I
like about I'll tell you this much. One of the biggest things that I like, distinguishing factors that I like about the kids. Okay. So Harry's not here, so I'll talk about him when he's here. But with Malaya, is the way she tries to distinguish food. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not one to say I'm not like a master chef or anything, but I believe I know good food. You know, I think I can distinguish.
Food sucks though.
What's that?
Your luck with food sucks.
My luck with food sucks. I kid you not. Every time we go out as a family to eat, one way or the other, there's always something wrong with my food. Either the chicken is undercooked, the pasta's undercooked, something's wrong. Maybe there's hair in my food. It's horrible.
I thought, wait, oh, sorry, Kuya came home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. You were saying?
Wait, me?
Yeah. No?
No, I was talking to Kuya.
Yeah, so I've had bad luck with food, you know, when we go out to restaurants and whatnot. But at the times that I don't actually have something wrong that goes on with my food, it's been amazing. You know, like example, the whole Hell's Kitchen experience, that was just to die for. I mean,
I was starstruck.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's good food. You know. Anyway, any other questions?
Huh?
Anything to talk about?
have
What
any-
else?
Do you have any questions for us?
Um, uh, well, I kind of went on like came on the show on like last minute, so I didn't really prepare anything. But
Anything that you've always wanted to ask your dad but couldn't? It's like, hey, dad,
uh,
how'd you lose all your hair?
he shaved it.
Yeah,
Okay, so
told
you know.
I was there. I've
Yeah.
been there since the hair.
Listen, when in the beginning, I had amazing hair. I had nice hair. You know, I had
Yeah.
thick. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
thick, but
Your
thick, but
hairline was really
no, it
swoopy.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. My hairline was never bad back then. I've never had bad hairline. It's just that the backside started like disappearing, and then I decided to shave it off, and it just never came back.
I'm still trying to decide. I'm still accepting the fact.
Yeah, because I mean, I thought about it. I mean, the bad part about that now is I constantly need to shave my head, which I hate.
Oh yeah, to keep the look consistent.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
But
for me,
now I don't use clippers. I use a razor.
I still have moments where it's like, oh, my hair's growing. So I just keep it.
Rogaine. Um,
But yeah, is there anything that you
anything you want to ask about our life back then, or maybe anything you want to ask me,
Um,
or in general?
not really.
Yeah, my kids are
I feel
horrible
like-
at being
Well,
put on
no,
the
I
spot.
feel like I've been knowing about this podcast since the beginning. Well, not very, very beginning, since like
okay?
you've actually started going. Like
How do you
started like,
How do you feel about me doing this or us doing this?
Yeah.
oh, it's so cool. I like bragging to my friends at school. I told my whole resource class that you had a podcast. I was like, yo, go follow my dad on YouTube.
Aw.
At the FlipSide with Jay and Noel. And
Isn't it embarrassing?
It's
Not
not. You're not
really.
embarrassed.
Well, I
Really?
used to be a little embarrassed, but now I'm like, you know what? Why should I be embarrassed? It's actually kind of cool. So my friend Jay Kwan, he follows you on
Who?
on YouTube.
Oh, that's
Jake,
cool.
yeah.
Yo, Jay, what up, yo?
And
Sup?
he told me to shout you out. He told me to tell you to shout him out. So now I get to
You
tell
mean
him.
shout out? Shout out to Jay. Yo,
He wanted a shout out.
what's his name?
Jay Kwan.
All right, Noel, let's go give a shout out, proper shout out. Yo, Jay Kwan. Yo, what's up, yo? What's going on, B? Total shout out to you. Down to my homie and the peeps at the Farmwell Station Middle School. Yo, what's up, B? What's going on? I know where you live, bro.
Shout out to Jay Kwan. What's up?
Jay Kwan, what up? Yeah, whatever, yo. Whatever. Yo, shout out. Hearts out to you, bro. Hearts out to you.
That's kind of
Anyway.
gay.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
kinda
it-
gay.
It's gotta be crazy thinking that you're, well, not crazy, but I'm just trying to appreciate the fact that you're, I mean, or at least the idea that, hey, gosh, my dad and his friend are like on a podcast and they're
Yeah.
catching up.
Well,
They
it's
go-
not to me, it's not really crazy because I mean, it's kind of it's like really cringe trying to watch my dad
Cringe.
become an influencer
cringe. No,
and my
oh
mom too. And my mom too. Like I started that. I'm the one who had the idea of becoming an influencer. I've never like went through with the plan, but they're like posting. My mom wants to get famous on TikTok, and my dad has been posting on like all social
Oh,
media
no.
platforms. There's this one time I walked downstairs after I got ready for school to get a ride because he drives me to school every morning. So there's this one time I walked down and I see him recording him making coffee.
Oh no.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
cringe. You know, it is cringe hearing it from you. But, you know, in fairness to, your dad and myself, we'd never had this opportunity to catch up with each other and and to be able to talk to someone over the phone with a camera, like with this whole video thing. and then we can record it also at the same time. It's
Why
just
not?
like that's why we ended up doing the podcast for posterity's sake, and then because we have the technology to do it, but not because of this whole influencer
I
you
don't.
know idea. It was just the fact that, hey, we can do this now, and then why
Yes,
don't
that's
we?
correct. Yeah.
Um,
Although,
But
in my personal aspect, I do have to admit, like on my reels on Facebook, first of all, that coffee film that reel that she's talking about got over 7,000 views. All right. So, bleh.
congratulations.
um, but
wow.
yeah, I don't do it to try to like become an influencer. It's more like just trying to get there so that what's the word I'm looking for?
So you can make money.
Heck yeah, that's one of it. No, but there's another. I forget. I lost my chain of thought.
But so actually, me and my friend, she was here last night for my birthday. Um, but me and my friend, that there's this one time we went out and we were like walking around, and I remember we were talking about TikTok. I sent her about like things to do over the summer, and one of them was to create a vlog and vlog your entire summer. And so I was like, we should do that. We should actually commit and make a whole YouTube channel and vlog our summer and see how that goes. And if it like does well, we could literally start vlogging as like friends, as best friends. And she was like, yeah, we should totally do that. So we last night we were talking and we were saying like
Mhm.
we were talking about like we were like we should go on trips this summer. Like we should actually like go on trips together and do stuff like because we're trying to top last summer. I guess that's what I've been doing. Like even before you like my friend, I've been trying to top each summer. So like last year I tried to top 2021 summer.
Mhm.
But last year's summer kind of sucked because there's so much drama. It was hard to enjoy it. Um, but I'm gonna top last summer with this summer because I want to go to the beach. I want to like do stuff with my friends, go to amusement parks, like just
Mhm.
out of a whim, just like go.
I'll
So
sound I'll sound like your Uncle Noel here, but there are vloggers that died because they were trying to get content just to get to top it from the previous video. They're trying
Yeah.
to up it to the
Yeah.
next level.
yeah,
Yeah.
with us
uh
though, sorry, with us,
yeah,
we're not trying to like top like each video because we want to do like better. We're just
yeah,
vlogging because we want to like create memories. Like we're
of
gonna
course.
Mm,
like we want to like just for the fun out of it. Like we're not there for the views, we're not there for the money, we're not there for anything. We're honestly just want to look like be able to look back on it
mhm.
and
Yeah.
like make this content that looks awesome, first of all, like aesthetically awesome,
Right.
and second just like to have that memories to look over and to like show like your family, your friends. And if it gets popular, it gets popular. Like there's nothing you can do.
Guys.
That's exactly the primary reason why I do this too. It's just so that my kids can actually
Mm,
see it, especially Arya can actually look at it if for some odd reason I'm no longer here. You know what I mean?
yeah, like
Sad to
one day
say.
just
Yeah,
yeah
I'm literally almost
kick the
3.5 years from half a century old. So,
yeah
I'm literally
you can
creeping into the next level of life there.
you can kick the bucket any second now. But
Right.
Malaya, another question before I lose this chance to ask you. When you were sort of ranting and raving about starting your vlog, I was wondering if there's anything that you can teach us also about that, like because for a good 2 seconds, Jason and I here were like, are we sure we want to do this, like put our faces on the internet for all the world to sort of make fun of. I mean,
Right.
I get self-conscious about it a lot. I mean, I act like I don't care about my pajamas on camera, but at the end of the day, in between recording, sometimes I'm like, like, is my forehead too big, or is my nose too, do I have, I get self-conscious about it a lot. I mean, don't you worry? And how do you sort of navigate through all the thoughts of what people might say?
The possible negativity that could come.
um Honestly, I have a mindset where I don't care because it's like
How? Where do you get that mindset?
because I like when it comes to anything, not just the vlogging, the whole vlogging part, just like I guess when it comes to school too, especially school, I kind of just like stopped caring because I look at it, I'm like, you know what? In like what in 10 years when I'm successful traveling the world doing what I want to do, this isn't
Mm.
gonna matter. This is not gonna matter. While I'm traveling, while I'm doing what I want to do, they're probably gonna be sitting at home doing nothing. So honestly, like why should I care that much? Plus also, they're probably doing that or just like being like just like mess like how to explain it? Just like making fun of you or bullying you because they're self-conscious about themselves, because they're insecure about
Mm.
themselves.
Mm.
And so that kind of shows that you're better than them. So I kind of just like I just have like a really like I don't want to like even though like I may seem like really overly confident now, like at
Mm.
school, trust me, I'm like even though like I don't care. Like I really don't care if what people think of me anymore. But at school I'm definitely more quiet. I'm not this overly confident.
Are you
But
taking notes, Jay?
That's a lot.
Are you taking notes? Yeah.
As always, yeah.
Yeah. It, I'm still trying to get to where you're at right now, Malaya. To be quite honest, I'm 44. I think I'm turning 45 next year or the end of this year. You know, but it's a struggle. I mean, you know, to each his own. You know, we're all fighting off our own demons. But I wish I were in your. I wish I had that mindset sooner than you know.
It's
But I'm
about
thinking better late than never.
yeah.
Working on it. Working on it.
It's about discovering and accepting who you are. The bottom
Yeah.
line is, you know, and
yeah,
we could all say that we accept who we are, but really, a lot of times
we don't.
we don't because we're still questioning it.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I
you're
mean?
lying to yourself. You think that you know.
Exactly. Honestly, that's how I'm able to accept who I am and be brave enough to do this, for example, or to speak my mind because I've accepted who I am. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the luxury to not do that because, like I said, I'm literally almost half a century old. I don't
Oh,
have the luxury to worry about what other people might say. And that's exactly what I've been trying to teach my kids as well, where don't say that you don't care completely about what people say, but let it pass through you. Go in here and go out here. You know,
That's what
literally.
I that's what I mean by like I don't care. Like when I say I don't care, I mean like I don't I feel like there's like I don't feel like I don't want to put energy into something
Right.
that won't matter.
Right.
Like a perfect example.
Literally, it's like that. Like it's literally like that. Like that. You know. Like you just literally pass through you.
But a perfect example is kind of I guess so I not even that long ago, probably like maybe um let's just say 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I got threatened to get jumped because of I was hanging out. I was like, okay, I don't want to word it like that because I'm not sure if like you guys understand, but like I was hanging out with I hung out with someone and then they didn't want me to hang out with them. And so it's this whole situation, but it was like stupid because it's like how to I'm gonna just word it like she worded it. She texted me and this was like early in the morning. I wake up, she texted me and I was like, this is weird. Like I have not talked to her outside of school. So I open it and she was like you can't like stop like why are you like you're gonna like F with me, but you don't like and but then you go off and F with my off. Like what's and then she was like, I'm gonna jump you, blah blah blah, you can't do that. And I'm like and the first thing I told her, like I'm not even joking, was why do you care so much? Because and she's and then like and I told her it's not really that big of a deal. Like and like there's no point of like texting me, right? Because I was just being like straight like forward with her because honestly, why does she care so much? And she told me like if I cared so much, I would have already jumped you, blah 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 blah, you know? And I'm like, if you didn't care so much, you wouldn't be texting me. So, but it's just like it's how to explain it. It just was like so weird. And honestly, I was like just confused the entire time. Like I didn't know what I did wrong. I didn't know what was going on. So I was kind of like, and I just woke up, so I was like already like I was still half asleep. So I just was like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with it. So I was like, okay, I'm like done. So I honestly just stopped talking to her. But the thing is, she is nonstop talking about it. Like she's been talking about it literally like every single day since that happened. And she's still talking about it today. And I'm like, okay, like honestly, like why are you still talking about it? Because it's like if I talked about it, I'm talking smack. But if she talked about it, she's considered cool or like, oh, it's fine because she's this person, you know?
What you need to, well, I mean, you first of all, I think you're doing the right thing by not letting it affect you too much, because you have to, in that particular situation, you can just take it within the grain of salt, like whatever, that's it. You know what I mean? And you're doing the right thing by not reacting too much into it because you never know. Sometimes a simple reaction could be the biggest overreaction. Oh, damn! I should put that in. You were saying about uh, what was that again?
I was talking about like school kind of.
Yeah. About that friend of yours that not exactly caring about what she says.
Oh yeah, we're not even friends. I don't like her.
Right.
She's
Well, it's it's so hard. I think that's one of the biggest I think that's one of what I've noticed, one of the biggest difference between teenagers now, like in high school and all that stuff, or even in middle school, to versus back then during our days, Noel. Because before, it's like you really gotta connect to the person or communicate to the person directly. Everything was done directly, like face to face or over the phone, as opposed to everything mostly being done through messaging. You know what I mean? And it's hard. It's hard to communicate properly that way.
Mm. I think everything that we've been talking about in general, whether we're complaining about the gear or I mean the phone and that kind of thing and the convenience, it's really, I think somehow it's really all about not just you working, the relationship, the social dynamics with other person.
Mhm.
Mind you, these other people that you're dealing with too, they're also trying to figure it out.
Right. Right.
They're also trying to figure out the game and the rules of the game all at the same time. So you're like, they're just they're just they're they're just lost
Yeah.
as much as
Yeah.
you are.
Right.
And it goes back to parenting, maybe, which you could probably blame in a sense that where's your coach? Who's teaching you what you're doing to me now? Where did you
Right.
get that influence?
If we could switch gears a little bit, do you have time or no?
Please, please, please.
You're okay with time?
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the things I think we talked about this a few. There's a huge echo. Where am I hearing that?
I don't
Hello?
hear anything. I don't hear anything here.
Oh. It's
oh, it might be sorry, it might be coming from me because you're talking. You could probably hear it from my mic.
Got it. One of the question or the conversation we actually had. You okay?
Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh,
I just muted myself because I was telling Tin that it's going to take us a while to get to the talipapa.
oh, sorry.
But
If
it's
you gotta
okay.
go, you gotta go.
No. She's not cooking anything right now at the moment.
Right. Um, so
Adobo
one
can
of the
wait.
conversations you and I had the other day, Noel, was the fact that how I feel I felt like I'm lacking or I lacked the teachings of my own culture to my kids, meaning my older kids right now with Malaya and Harry. Um, Malaya has actually been to the Philippines.
And
Uh, the,
Kuya. Oh well,
yeah,
Kuya was
and
grew up
well,
there.
Harry was born there, so but Malaya's first time to the Philippines was what,
It
4 years ago?
it was in beginning it was in February, I think, of 2017 because I remember I think 2018 I went to see Ariana Grande. So
Right,
yeah, it was
right.
2017.
So it's been a while, like 6 years almost, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what was your first impression?
It was well, honestly, I got the bougie side of the Philippines because I stayed in fancy villas. I like was introduced to all these nice stuff in the Philippines, like the nice side. Like I stayed at a private resort that had its own private beach that you could literally wake up and go outside and no one was on the beach. Like it was literally your own. And I was introduced to all these like important people because like my mom grew up in Surigao, so obviously we went there.
Sure. Yeah, they went to Siargao. That's where they went basically. That's where my
But
wife is from.
I was introduced to so many important people. Like I met the mayor, and that was kind of weird because like I didn't know. All I knew that I was related to him, so that's all I knew. But it was just I went to all these I we went island hopping. We saw my grandma's like property. It
Well,
was like
what's the one? Well, first of all, what's the first thing that you noticed that's out of the ordinary, not being the bougie side or anything and all that stuff, when you went to the Philippines? Like for example, um, the first shock and the shocking moment that came to you that, oh, I'm in the Philippines, I'm not in the US, or I'm in a third world country, or sorry, developing country.
definitely see when I went to Manila, it kind of reminded me of Tyson's Corner, not gonna lie.
Really?
Um,
Tell me
well
about that.
like well like it's like it kind of just
Oh, that's because they
like
stayed at the BGC.
it's
What's
just
Tyson's Corner?
Tyson's
it's like
Corner is a richy rich area over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's just like it kind of reminded me of like kind of like it didn't hit that I was in the Philippines till I got
mm,
to Surigao. One thing that I noticed that was really like kind of like the first thing that I noticed is definitely the food. Like when it came to like breakfast, free breakfast at the resort, um it was definitely the food. It was more like my style of food, like longanisa, rice, eggs, and it was so good. Anyways, but it was definitely that was definitely one of the first things I noticed. The second thing I noticed was beaches. Beaches are very different compared to here. The sand is whiter, the water's clearer. It's
Mm.
more, I feel more safer to be in the ocean there than I do here.
Did you actually get to experience the street life in the Philippines, meaning like walking around, eating at Karen's or those little eateries? Sorry,
Um,
I forgot she doesn't know what Karen's are. Karen's here is
Renderias.
completely different. Yeah.
but no, that's why I kind of like before I like honestly like I'm glad I got to experience that side before because I feel like it would have been like I would have been overwhelmed by it. Like now though, like honestly, I would love to have street food. That sounds awesome. And just like experience that because
Right.
I've experienced the nice side. I'm not saying that side's not nice, but I've experienced the more like rich side. Like I want to experience a side that like
The simpler
you
life,
yeah the simpler right
simpler.
simpler. But it's just okay. Definitely the beaches though, because
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Noel, can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Did I say that? Did I sounded like I just offended like a crap load of Filipinos? And the rich side and the simpler side, I don't know. For some reason, to me, when we said that, it sounded wrong to me. It feels like I'm offending somebody.
No, I know what you mean, but I don't know how to say it
How
without
should that be
offending
put?
anyone.
How should that be described? I don't know if I should say like the simpler side or the bougie side. You know,
Now,
you know what I'm
let's
trying to say.
put it another way: is that BGC is that's the only part of the Philippines that looks like that, looks and feels like that.
Mm.
Only part of the Philippines. Siargao, like 99% of no, maybe 80% or a large chunk of the Philippines looks like that.
Mm. Right.
Um, I wouldn't compare. It's a metropolitan, and then there's the province.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, you were saying. Malaya?
A second thing I noticed was definitely the beaches. Like I felt like my mom felt like definitely mom felt like trusted me more when I was in the Philippines. Like even when I was a kid, like she like when it came to like raining. So there's this one time where we got stuck at Surigao because of like a really huge storm, like typhoon type of storm, and so we had to stay at the resort for like 2 extra days because of it. And basically it was like pouring rain outside. First of all, it was really humid. It was pouring rain, and my mom kind of just like let me run around. Like she let me like she didn't allow me to go to the beach, but she let me like run around the resort by myself because I felt like she felt more safer there than like here. And I feel the same exact way. Like I felt more comfortable being in the Philippines than I felt ever being here. Like when it comes to America.
Right.
Let me tell you guys a story. Back in the early 2000s, maybe about 2003, 4, one of the first few episodes. Your dad knows that I did a few episodes. I was a TV host for Nickelodeon here in the Philippines. It was broadcast. They call it Nick Asia,
Yeah.
Nickelodeon Asia.
Can I search it up?
Yeah, I don't think no, there was no internet back then, and we hardly posted anything online.
Oh.
If there's anything that's recorded, I could just share it with you, but it's not like we were broadcasting before social media, so that and then we cut the show just when they opened YouTube. So that was 2007 when we wrapped up. But between 2002, 3, all the way till 2007, I was doing a bunch of stuff with Nickelodeon. I was, this
It's on YouTube. You
little
can search it on YouTube. It's there.
What's it called? Sorry. I don't want to
uh
forget.
you can look for maybe You Pick Live, Noel de la Rosa, something like that. But we were doing another show back in 2002 called Teen Nick.
Right.
You know how in MTV there's like a VJ in between MTV Cribs and then let's say the 80s music videos. There's a VJ in between, and he would introduce one show to the next,
Right.
a video jock, and that's kind of what I was doing. And in between, in between introducing Fairly Odd Parents to SpongeBob, coming up next, stick around, don't change that channel. We would pick out places around the Philippines, sometimes in the studio, but sometimes around the Philippines to let's say, for example, I was just going to introduce SpongeBob SquarePants. He's a pineapple living under the sea.
Right.
So my producer thought, hey, why don't we go to Boracay? You guys familiar with Boracay?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
So there's Surigao, and then there's international known island called Boracay. Point of the story is when we were there looking for something to do, it had to be something to do with the kids, and one of which was what do kids do there in the summer?
Right.
I don't know about what you guys do for PE, but these guys were surfing, these guys were scuba diving, these guys were sailing. They
We
were there's a school in Boracay. I think it's called Brent, if I'm not mistaken. But I met a whole bunch of island kids. They're quite literally island kids, but they were foreign island kids. The rich kids that were based in Boracay.
Right.
Point that I was trying to say was there was a whole different vibe, mindset, mentality, attitude towards life because those guys were living in an island, even though they were well off. They had the maybe not humble, but there was something about their sensibilities, and it'll probably pop up with better words later, that those kids had than when I was hosting shows in Manila. Because we
Right.
also had something like Nick Takes Over Your School, and then the mentality of those Montessori private school kids was so different from the kids that I met in the island. Jay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
go ahead, go ahead. You were saying something?
Yeah. It's. I'm a little bit man, that question just popped out of my head.
And I think, sorry, I think what I'm trying to say about that is that since the rest of the Philippines and maybe the rest of the world is more like the Siargao and Boracay, the island in terms of simplicity and no buildings and not that kind of go get them kind of
Right, right.
living in the city. For the people that lived in the island, it was kind of like going to Manila. It's probably like going to Disneyland or Epcot Center, knowing
Mm.
that it's a facade, knowing that it's a theme park.
Would you
I
really
have a sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I have a question for Noel about you being on Nickelodeon.
Cha.
Um what did you meet any famous people that I'd
Yeah,
probably know?
I'll answer that question in a second, but it's funny, Jay, the way she just popped into asking about that question. All of a sudden, we're trying to talk about life here. Trying to talk about our culture and being Filipino and appreciating, and then all of a sudden, let's ask about Nickelodeon. Do you know Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
I got the chance to interview her.
Oh,
Did you really?
cool.
Rob Thomas from
What?
yeah,
That's so cool.
because Nickelodeon was tied up like as a sister company from MTV, and then
Right,
MTV had their thing going on.
right.
There's the Kids Choice Awards, MTV awards, that kind of thing. So I was literally tagging along under these adult MTV shows as representing Nickelodeon. So whatever they were doing for MTV, Nickelodeon was covering also, but from a kid's perspective, obviously.
Perspective. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that
Did
you
you
actually interviewed them.
did you end up going to Kids Choice Awards one year?
I I went. Yeah, there was it was funny. Okay, I need to tell you this story to have a little appreciation. So when I met your father, when I met your dad in the early '90s, my mom and I decided to move back to the Philippines because our visa ran out, that kind of thing. Now, because of that, we couldn't go back to the States for the longest time. And then all of a sudden, when I got the job for Nickelodeon, it was a reason for me to go back. They said, it's going to be in LA. Do you want to go? Do you have a passport? Yeah, I'm ready to go. I took
Oh, that's so cool.
I took the next flight out, and then on the way there, they kind of basically told me, "Oh, it turns out we didn't have any, we ran out of budget, blah blah blah. But since you're already on your way there, just go, come back when you're done." So instead of going to LA, I ended up going to San Francisco, and then I met up with a couple of other friends. Not your dad, unfortunately.
That still
Um,
sucks that you weren't able to go though.
to the Kids Choice Awards.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were wait, so
right.
you were invited, but last minute you couldn't go.
Yeah, they told me let's just put the budget to Kids Choice Awards here in the Philippines because it was a promotion for the Kids Choice Awards in LA,
Yeah,
talking about it here in the Philippines. So they put the budget there instead of me going to the one in LA.
that
So
sucks.
so wait, was there a Kids Choice Awards in the Philippines?
Yeah, but the celebrities were local celebrities
Mm.
that would
Oh.
yeah.
So you
So
went to that one.
yeah, so I guess the short answer to your question is no, I wasn't the one in the one in LA, but I was the bigger one that I went to. Although I don't think it was a Kids Choice Awards. There was some kind of MTV award. It was pretty big, like a lot of Hong Kong local uh Asian celebrities was in Singapore.
Oh,
So
so
that's
like
what
Wonder Girls.
yeah, stuff like that. So
Oh my
that's where
God,
they
I
were.
love Wonder Girls.
I don't think I got to interview them, but yeah, so the
Once, yeah.
MTV Asia had their own thing here in Singapore.
Oh,
Noel
that's so
actually,
cool.
once upon a time in his life, he actually breached the movie industry, so to speak. You know, like he actually had one small movie scene with one of the biggest actresses in the Philippines, Sharon Cuneta. You don't know her, but she's like a Julia Roberts type of level.
Actually,
Yes, that's how popular she is in the Philippines. And he actually had like a small scene with her in a movie. And that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. You can actually still see that on YouTube too. I'll show that to you later. It's kind of cool.
but yeah, like I don't know why, but for like the past like year, I've been so into like like modeling and acting because I actually like
Mm.
like a lot of people my age and younger are doing this, and I'm like, I have really big FOMO. So seeing that people my age are so successful in like modeling and acting, I just get so jealous. I'm like, I really want to do that. That sounds so much fun, and I feel like
Mm.
I'd actually enjoy it. Like I feel like I'd enjoy myself if I
Yeah.
start like acting or like doing what you did.
I should
Yeah.
tell you how it got started. Jay, give me a second to tell this story real quick,
Go ahead.
okay?
Go ahead.
It was I wanted to do it, but not because I wanted to be famous or anything like that. And I don't think I really became famous, but the fact that technically my foot was in the door was simply because I was helping the producer of the show was actually a friend of a friend, and then they were looking for someone that was willing was crazy enough to wear like garbage bag to look like a raisin. And we were just doing it for fun. What I'm trying to tell you is that just do your thing and don't like try to you know am I you want to help me cut the story short, Jay? But
To cut it short, if that's
yeah,
what you want to do or you have some inclination of doing it, do you.
just do it.
Yeah.
Don't wait for someone to validate like, oh yeah, you're like this, you can do it, you're pretty enough, or like what you were saying, like don't care, just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
I've been sorry.
go ahead.
But I've been thinking about it. Like I've been talking about it. My dad knows that I've
Yeah.
been talking about it a lot recently with
Mhm.
you and mom.
Yeah.
So I just been like, I don't know. It's just like nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no, it circles back to everything that we were talking about a while ago, that you have this opportunity now. Before there were gatekeepers. Before there was a boss that you needed to like,
Right.
okay, can you give me an opportunity? Now it's just you feel like it, you do it.
That's exactly what I was trying to tell Malaya before when she wanted to do some streaming for the gaming and whatnot, right? If you have the opportunity to just do it, do it, do it. You don't need to have this and that to do it. Like back then, you know
Mm.
how hard an opportunity is to do something like that. But now the opportunity is literally everywhere. It's just a matter of doing it. And
You have a whole studio on your phone. Because
right,
before it was like you needed to knock on somebody's door because nobody else had a camera except MTV and Nickelodeon kind of thing, or
right.
the local TV stations to broadcast your thing. Now you're online in 2 seconds.
You can broadcast you for now and start you. It's
That's
just a matter
that's
of
So
wanting to do it.
that was the
so
only gap. That was the only gap.
Right. I
Now
think
you
it's
don't
more
have
like
that.
the comfort level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Now you're battling this.
yes, that's
This
your
is
biggest battle right there.
I feel like honestly, I feel like I'd actually be really good at it because I'm already
Oh,
so
I
yeah.
wonder. Somebody told her that. Hmm,
Are you familiar with Goodwill Hunting?
hmm.
I've
Um,
heard of it.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck couldn't get the roles or the parts that they wanted, that they know that they could do.
So
So
they
they
wrote
said,
that movie.
"Yeah, let's write a script and then let's sell it to." And then they had to go through gatekeepers, and somebody actually had to vouch for them, and directors, and uh, Robin Williams had to get on it or something like that. Some kind of dynamic where they needed to get a big screen actor. But the whole point of that story is that they created that opportunity for them. They didn't have to like wait, like hopefully somebody will
Right.
give me a script and I'll be a star because of that script. No, like make your own show. You don't have that excuse anymore. Sorry to say, but
Yeah.
no pressure, but there's no excuse anymore.
And that's what I've told you. Because I mean, you have everything to do it. Just a matter of doing it.
You got your parent support, you got the gear, and it's really just this that's limiting you.
Yeah. Um. All right. Well, I think we should end it there,
Yeah, I really felt that Uncle Noel moment there for
huh?
a
I
second. I
know.
hope it helps.
But listen, Malaya, thank you for taking the time to joining us today. I know
Mhm.
you're busy.
I'm busy laying down.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna end it there. Thank you very much for tuning in again, and we can hear my wife in the background, giving instructions.
Mm-hmm.
It's way past your bedtime, Jason.
I know, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. That was another day, kind of like it was an interesting conversation. Hopefully we can breach it again sometime.
Did you have fun? Did you learn
Yeah.
something?
Malaya, was that fun?
It was fun. I had fun, but I'm really tired. I just want to go to bed.
Okay, then log out.
All right.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
Thank you for that. That was a privilege.
Well, I figured I'd open it up eventually. It was gonna happen one of these days, but
Looking forward to Harry though.
yeah, I know, right? Trying to get his perspective a little bit more, and also, I want to have a day where we can sit down to get the women of our lives.
Ah,
Thank you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We're closing out.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Sorry, it'd be nice if we could eventually get my wife in and Tin Christine in.
Yeah, for sure.
Chit chat and whatnot. Anyway, that was fun. That was interesting.
That was really, I'm not even kidding. That was more intimidating than it was to talk to Commander Daot.
Really.
Yeah, because I didn't want to, screw up the opportunity. It's not always that you get to speak. Well, I don't know about you, but it's not always that I get to talk to teenagers and actually get their perspective, with their dad.
Yeah.
Was it the whole sort of stars aligned kind of dynamic that we had today was
What I want to
Awesome.
ask eventually when
So
we
cool.
talk to Harry, I want to talk to him about because he grew up his first 8 years of his lives was in the Philippines. His life was in the Philippines. He was
Harry?
born in the Philippines, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And so I think the first 7 years of his life, I think, was in the Philippines. And I'd like to find out and breach that from topic with him, and the big differences then
Yeah.
and now, how it is growing up there, how it is growing up here. So hopefully we'll find time to sit down with him.
That's awesome.
So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Again, another one in the books. New episode coming out in a couple tomorrow. I just finished editing episode 31. And hopeful or coming out later. I don't know.
Anthony just sent a message. You want to put him in, or maybe on the next one?
We can put him in, but we could close this one and record something and add it to the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can cut that.
All
in.
right.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you again later. My name is I'm sorry.
You forgot.
This is the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay,
My name is Noel.
and we'll catch you later.
On the flip side.
Catch us on the next episode on the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. New episodes uploaded on Wednesdays and Saturdays.